there. Today I want to talk to you about what science has to say about the power of positivity and negativity, which I think is an important subject right now because we're all having to cope with this very negative situation, the pandemic, all right? So let's start off with talking about what makes you you. First, there's the visible part of you, your body and your brain. They're made of cells. Cells you can see, you can touch. Um, but then there's the invisible part of you, your mind. Now, that's where your thoughts and your feelings are. You can't see it, but it's very real. You also have a spirit, but that's for another time. Okay, so let's start with the brain, the power of the brain. How are you using your brain power during this pandemic? Are you using it to get up in the morning and focus on the news? To, follow the death count day in and day out? To follow every little development about COVID-19? Man, if you are, you know what you're doing? You're going to drive your body into a very lowered immune state. What we know is that when you're kind of anxious and stressed out, your body gets flooded with cortisol, which is this stress hormone, which is like a fire alarm. It's your body saying, something is wrong, something is wrong, something is wrong. And what it does, among other things, is that it depresses the number of white cells, which are your main fighters against diseases. In fact, we now know, some experts say that up to 90% of all diseases and afflictions are stress related, including the big ones: diabetes, heart disease, obesity, cancer even, stress related. So you don't want to use your brain power like that. Bad choice. Do something you've always wanted to do and you didn't have the time. Like I told you in a previous episode, I'm teaching myself how to type. Maybe you wanted to paint. Do it. Something. Use your brain power in a constructive, positive way. All right? What about your body? How are you using the power of your body? Are you waking up in the morning and smoking? If you smoke more than 2 packs a day, you have twice the chance of getting dementia down the road. Is that what you want to do with this pandemic, this time? I don't think so. How about drugs? Same thing. Drugs and alcohol that go straight to your brain. They mess with the wiring of your brain. It's like pouring water into an electrical circuit. You don't want to do that. On the other hand, are you using your body to eat well? Look, I'm like the next guy. I like my junk food. Chicharrones, fried pork rinds, one of my weaknesses. But you know what? That's not good. You're not using your body power well if you do that. You want to eat proteins, for example, which provide your body with amino acids that help create important, very important neurotransmitters like norepinephrine and dopamine. So that's very important to eat well. Also exercise. Exercise. We know there's less depression among people who run or exercise regularly. And look, you can just be doing burpees at home or push-ups or yoga or something like that. You don't have to go out, but regular exercise leads to less depression, better moods, more feelings of relaxation and calm and peacefulness. That's just from exercise. So that's a good use of body power. But now, I saved the best for last because now we're going to talk about mind power. Now, just because it's the invisible part of you, again, I said it's not only the most mysterious part, it's the most important part of you. Something you can't lay your hands on. You can't see you can't see a feeling or a thought under a microscope. And yet they are what define you more than anything, even more than your body and even more than your brain. Your mind defines you. So what are you doing with your mind power? For example, we've known for some time now that if you calm your mind down, calm your thoughts and your feelings down, and you focus them like a laser beam, you can actually take control of what are normally autonomic processes like your blood pressure, your heart rate, your breathing rate. There was a study done some years ago by Herb Benson over at Harvard Medical. He went to Tibet and he looked at some Tibetan monks who practice a certain kind of yoga. And he wired them up. It's pretty amazing. They were able to increase their body temperature significantly, enough so that if you put wet sheets over their shoulders, the body temperature increased so much that it evaporated the water. You could see the steam rising from the sheets. This was verified scientifically, published study. By the way, Herb Benson has been doing some amazing stuff, mind body, over in Boston at Harvard. He's older now; it's like 85 years old, but he's still going. So I urge you to look up Herb Benson, Harvard Medical Mind Body. Amazing stuff. So, for example, we also know that with meditation, get this, this is really amazing, that when you meditate, you can actually change the architecture of your brain. Mind power can affect your brain. For example, we know through regular meditation, not just off and on, but regular meditation, you can actually restructure the folding of your cerebral cortex, which is your gray matter, which is associated with intelligence. It's what we call gyrification. You increase gyrification with meditation. You increase the folds. And there are some studies that suggest you can actually increase your general intelligence, your IQ, through meditation. Yeah, that's mind power. But listen to this. There was a study done out of Stanford recently, about more than 200 men and women who were put on a treadmill, okay, and were told, look, just keep running until you're out of gas. And they did. And then they divided up into two groups. And then they said to one group, look, sorry to tell you, but you have a genetic variation that makes you have low endurance. And then they told the other group just the opposite. Hey, good news, you have a genetic variation that gives you high endurance. And then they put them back on the treadmill, and guess what? What do you think happened? The group that was told they had a gene for low endurance actually pooped out 22 seconds sooner than the first time. They ran out of gas. And more than that, their oxygen uptake decreased, and so did their lung function. So just their mind, just thinking, oh, I've got low endurance, even though they didn't, affected their body's performance. And the opposite, if you had, hey, I've got the gene, just the thought that you had the gene, no proof, just the thought, increased your productivity. Okay, so one more thing, and that is there's some research, fascinating research, that shows that optimism is good for your health. Optimism. What the research showed was that optimists, people who had positive thoughts, positive outlooks, again, it's just your mind. This is mind power. Helped you recover from coronary bypass surgery faster. So just also in general, surgery of any kind, you recover faster. You have healthier immune systems. And you live longer. All because you're an optimist. All because you have positive thoughts. So here's the bottom line, friend. You have a triple-barrel shotgun. Body, brain, mind. Use it on the virus. Blow it out of the water, man. I'm telling you. Positivity. Don't hang out with negative people. Don't listen to music or watch movies that are downers. Don't sit there smoking and drinking, wallowing in pity, worrying about what's going to happen. I get it. Millions of people are out of jobs. I get it. But maybe you use this time in a positive way to brainstorm what's your next career, what's your next move. Use the time wisely and positively. Positivity is good for your health, okay? So there is no such thing. I'm going to leave you with this. There's no such thing as false hope. False hope is what pessimists call hope. Hope, pure and simple, is powerful. Okay? Okay. All right. As always, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and what? You got it. Stay positive.